In a world full of noise, two voices rise above the chaos. Ron and Brian. They speak truth. They stir thought. They accidentally help. News, nonsense, and necessary self-care. Join the cult of Ron and Brian. Because the work is so important.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It is a Sunday night. It is 8 o'clock, and it is time for episode 385 of the Cult of Ron and Brian podcast. Brian, my friend, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right. I feel I don't feel very excited, which I think
Okay.
we'll eventually get to speaking about my beef of the week.
Okay.
But right now I'm not feeling great. It's very low energy. I'm feeling low energy today.
I'm feeling that. Normally you're more like up, you're more vibrant.
Yeah.
So there definitely seems to be a malaise. And maybe it's that post-Christmas, pre-New Year's, kind of this vast wasteland we find ourselves in at the moment. But I guess if that's the case, then let's just get right into it with our drink of the week.
Drink of the week.
Na zdrowie!
Salud!
Drink of the week.
Sláinte!
Drink of the week. Drink of the week. Drink of the week.
All right, Brian, what are you drinking this week? This final drink of the week for the year of our Lord 2025.
Listen, Ron, when you think about great beers, where do you visualize geographically? Germany? Do you think? I know you're particular to the local Philadelphia.
I'm thinking
areas.
Germany. I'm thinking Belgium. I'm thinking Philadelphia. I'm thinking Williamsport. I'm thinking lots of places. But where are you thinking?
I'm thinking the Bronx. That's right.
Oh, shit.
I am bringing Bronx Little Italy, and this is their Italian Pilsner. That's right, Ron. Our friends over at Gun Hill Brewing Company sent me over this, said, you've got to try our Italian Pilsner, Bronx Little Italy. Let me show you what this bad boy looks. I mean, this is a healthy-looking Pilsner. This is going
got a nice body to it.
This is gonna make me feel nice and good in my membrane. This is a crisp, light craft beer celebrating the Arthur Avenue neighborhood of the Bronx with a modern Italian Pilsner style. It's dry, it's refreshing, it's got subtle hop flavor. Gun Hill Brewing brewed a version of Italian Pilsner, highlighting the local craft beer scene with a nod to the Italian-style lagers that are popular in the craft world for their clean taste and dry finish. Coming in at a 4.2 ABV. Beer advocates never even heard of this fucking beer, which is why I'm drinking it.
You got to try it and you got to rate it. You got to let us know what it's all about. It looks crisp right off the back. It just looks like it's got a crisp taste to it.
It's crushable. This is a crushable Italian Pilsner. I'm going to drink the fuck out of this. Wish I had a dozen. I only have one. I bought this in I was sent this as part of a 4-pack with some others, but I will be drinking the crap out of this and enjoying it. Ron, may I ask you a question?
Of course you might.
What are you drinking?
So this week, Brian, I am drinking a beer that inspired by your t-shirt and hoodie collection, a little something called Black is Beautiful. Actually, that's a lie, Brian. It's not about your t-shirt, although it is black. What are you wearing today? Show it off.
I'm wearing a black t-shirt. I always wear a black t-shirt. Don't forget
the
take.
All right. I just didn't
Playing
know
sometime in January in Jersey. I don't know. JoJo knows all the details about that show. I do.
So this was actually brewed to support justice and equality for people of color. This is from the good folks, this version at Evil Genius Brewing down on Front Street in Philadelphia. That's down in your favorite spot in Philly, Brian, right down there in the Kensington section. I know you like visiting there whenever you come down. But look at this Imperial Stout, dark like your soul, Brian. Clocking in at a solid 12% alcohol. So you know it's going to be a good night. You know it's going to be a good after dark. Let me take a sip here.
Take more than a sip on this bad boy.
Oh, so it's strong. You taste the alcohol. You got like a coffee flavor there. You got a little bit of a
Sure.
bitterness there. It's been sitting in the fridge for a bit. You got a little alcohol there. So this is I'm going to be enjoying this. Don't think I should do a second one, but you never know. When we get to After Dark, all bets are off, Brian. You know the deal.
All right. Very good. Very well. Do I really know the deal?
We'll find out. And we're very curious to see why you're bummed out tonight. So let's get to it with Beef of the Week.
Ron and Brian's Beef of the Week.
Brian, what's bothering you this week?
I think I know. What's bothering me? Offices, not companies, because I know services still need to be provided to the masses. Offices that are open between Christmas and New Year's. It is one of the most depressing places to be. Is this week, these 5 to 7 days where those of us who have picked poorly with their PTO throughout the year and sat there and ended up, looking at the last couple of weeks of December, processing all of these PTO approved forms from other employees within your company, knowing you don't have the time, you're going to have to wake up early and go to work.
Sure.
First off, the walk from my ivory tower here in West New York, the walk from here to the train, there's about 2 other people walking. Normally there's probably about 40 or 50 people walking. It's depressing. Nobody's on the streets.
It's going to look like a zombie apocalypse. Like you're going to be walking
Yes.
alone through the streets. You're going to be in an
Yes.
empty office building.
Correct. Then it is, the subways on the way to work, fucking empty. It's May, and I know you're not going to like this comment, Ron. You're already shaking your head. It's May and a bunch of people that work in the kitchens of the local restaurants. You could just and maybe some house cleaners.
Some retail's still working, I think.
I don't see them. They're coming in from Brooklyn. This is New York City I'm heading into. The retail people, they're all coming in from fancy Brooklyn. Some Queens people too. And then it's just, you get into the office. There's 4 other people. 3 of them are refusing to work because they're just bitter over having to come. And you're sitting there trying to get some things done because you need to, because the end of the year is your busy time of the year. It's really just a depressing experience. And I'm sorry I have to go through it.
Billy is insinuating that you think the work isn't important. Is that the case, or?
I'm there to do the work. It's the fact that there's nobody around me also doing it. That's the depressing part.
Well, when I wake up tomorrow, Brian, at whatever time I end up waking up, I will be thinking of you.
Whatever, Ron. Whatever.
Actually, I've already been told that we need to get up early to go to the gym tomorrow. Apparently, that's a thing we do these days.
How long do you expect that to last?
The wife is very locked in at this point, so I think it's gonna last until probably a good snowstorm. If we have to get up early and go through the snow to get to a gym, I think we take a break then. But
before we get to your beef for the week, Ron, how did you handle the snowstorm this week? We just had a terrible snowstorm this past weekend.
Fortunately, we were fine. We got maybe a couple inches. It was mostly iced over. Threw some salt out there the other morning, and today clear roads.
Got it. And did you find that you used that opportunity to really connect with the wife on the home front?
We've been just enjoying each other's time, catching up on shows, talking about our feelings, spending time with family. That's how the holidays are.
Ryan, let me ask you, speaking of spending time with family, what's bothering you?
So my beef of the week this week, Brian, is with the TV show Pluribus. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch the season finale yet.
I did.
I think we enjoyed this show in the first half of the season.
Sure. What a setup.
Was there anything good about the last 4 episodes of the season?
The only thing that was good in the last 4 episodes of the season was the re-embracing of the Carol character by the aliens. Where, in episodes like 4 and 5, they left her, they refused to
Sure.
do anything with her, they were dropping off food or garbage or picking up her garbage, or they wanted nothing to do with her. And then, I think it was episode 6 where, they make their comeback. That was the only part of the second half of the season that I felt showed any reason for us to watch.
Yeah, did not really advance the story forward. Apparently, Vince Gilligan has said that he's written this as like a 4-season arc, but it would have been nice. I always like, you don't have to give us everything. You don't have to give us the entire story and a season finale, but I could have used a little bit more than what we got, which wasn't a hell of a lot.
Now, Ron, one of the things you had texted me about the show as you were watching it, one of the complaints, and I don't know if you want to talk about it now, was you said it's too chick heavy. There's too many women, too many female characters. Where is the strong male lead? I remember you texted me, where is the Walter White? Where is the Saul Goodman?
Where's the Jesse Pinkman?
Correct. You said this show lacks all of it. I believe.
Where's Mike Ehrmantraut?
Ooh, one of my favorites. You did, you
Where's
said it.
Herb, Hank Schrader.
Hank Schrader, yeah. Well, you did say it was the equivalent of a chick flick in 8 parts. A lot of complaints. I don't know if now you really want to go into detail about it.
I don't recall that text. Maybe I'll go through and see if I sent it and what my mindset was at the time. In the meantime, Brian, why don't we get into our stories of the week?
Sure.
People know we like to grab a couple of stories, make sure that we don't pass them up. Brian, what is your story of the week this week?
Ron, I know that you take your NFL very seriously. You take your right now. You are as we speak. You're looking at your second monitor to see how Broad Purdy is doing, how the some running back is scoring any points for you for your fantasy league.
Yes,
your NFL, your experience with the NFL is it's something that means so much to you. And I know in the past you've complained about your wife and how she doesn't, get involved to the same degree you did. You said that,
True.
she likes going to the Philadelphia Phillies game. She loved the Savannah Banana game that you went to, really embraced baseball, but she rejected football. That's something that really kind of caused some friction. But there is a Florida man this week. It all goes back to Florida, people.
It always
Jason
goes back to
Kenny.
Florida.
Do you have a photo of Jason Kenny? Because he went up to you this week. Oh, look at that beautiful picture. Matching, by the way, any family that does matching Christmas morning clothes or Christmas Eve, like pajamas, whatever, they should all just be executed. So, the government should just drive by, toss one of those smoke grenades filled with Zyklon B, just tack out the whole family because you don't deserve.
I feel like that's an ill-timed take given on the subject matter of the story you're about to do.
Well, Jason Kenny over there, he takes his football very seriously. This past Monday night, he was watching the San Francisco 49ers take on the Indianapolis Colts. Apparently, he had been drinking a little bit, and a fight started when his wife, Crystal Kenny, that's her seated in that photo, she suggested he turn off the game. Well, an argument ensued, which led to a massive fight, bad enough for Crystal to tell her 12-year-old son to go dial 911. Jeez. Well, let me introduce you to the 13-year-old stepdaughter, because Jason decided while this argument was happening, he was going to go take his gun out, shoots the wife, dead, shoots the 13-year-old stepdaughter who survived, shot her in the face, and then takes his own life. Why? Because his wife wanted him to turn off Monday Night Football. The boy, the 12-year-old son, I think it was, yes, after calling, he runs over to a neighbor's house. By the time police arrived at the Kennys, they found Crystal shot dead, the 13-year-old daughter shot in the face and shoulder, but alive. and Mr. Kenny, the head of the household, with no pulse. Let's put it that way. It's just a sad, sad story, and all the more reason that people should not drink and watch football at the same time while there are handguns in the house. If you don't know how to watch football responsibly, get rid of your gun.
That's a bold statement on your part, Brian. Would you think any kind of a stand your ground or something would have applied in this situation?
He never even gave it a shot. He just sat there.
We gave it a few shots, unfortunately.
Oh my God, Ron, did you just that's something I would do. I mean, that's just terrible. I mean, amazing wordplay, but God, I didn't even see that. Well done, Ron. Well done.
Thank you.
Ron, what's your
story?
Say,
I'm not saying what he did was right, but like, for example, last Monday night's game, I had Brock Purdy and George Kittle in my fantasy league, and I needed them to come up big so I could make it to this weekend's championship game.
Sure.
And they combined put up a solid 52 points to put me up over the top, put me into the championship match. Maybe he had a similar situation, and maybe he was sweating out his fantasy football league.
Well, that's not in the story. That's not in the article. It's just rough. Speaking of rough, Ron, your camera once again this week has frozen multiple times. If you can't get your internet working, maybe you need to move a little further west. I hear in Kensington, there are not as many people using Wi-Fi, so therefore, you can hog most of the bandwidth yourself.
Maybe I can hook up with Elon Musk and Starlink, see how that works. Maybe we'll test some things out in the new year.
That's very on target for you, Ron, seeking far right support from Elon Musk.
All right. Moving on. My story of the week, Brian, is about an Arkansas couple that has pled guilty to trying to sell their baby boy to a stranger at a campsite for $1,000 and a 6-pack of beer. The mugshots, well, they look pretty much as you assume they would.
Oh my God.
This is Darian Urban, age 22, and Shailene Ehlers, age 21.
That's 21. She looks 12 to me. Oh my God. She looks like Jeffrey Epstein.
Brother and sister vibes right here.
Yes, definitely. She looks like she would be on Epstein Island right now.
And it looks like he's got more beard on one side of his face than another. It's an interesting look. Anyway,
what's wrong with his nose?
Well, maybe it's a little crystal meth, perhaps, allegedly. So they struck 2 separate plea deals last week that will send the father to prison while the mother stays free on probation. They were arrested back in September of 2024 for the attempted baby sale after being tipped off that they had signed a letter granting custody to a man at a campsite. The written and signed contract, which was shown to investigators by witness, read, quote, "I, Darian Urban and Shailene Ehlers, are signing our rights over to Cody Martin of our baby for $1,000.
They actually drafted a written contract.
Both parents signed, then added a disclaimer which said, quote, "After signing this, there will be no changing y'all two's minds to never contact again."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So a witness to the
amazing.
You used the phone in the manager's office at the Beaver Lake Hideaway Campground, a few miles east of the Oklahoma border, to call police. The couple was initially charged with endangering the welfare of a minor and attempting to accept consideration for relinquishment of a minor. Urban pled guilty to 1 count of accepting compensation for adoption, and he was sentenced to 3 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections with an additional 3-year sentence suspended. Ehlers pled guilty to both counts, attempting to accept compensation and endangering the child's welfare. But the judge suspended the charges in her plea deal and placed her on state supervised probation for 6 years. No word where the baby is. Like, regardless of what
Nobody cares.
This kid should be in the system. This kid is better off in the foster care system than with his actual parents at this point.
Ron, this is the Oklahoma border. They don't care about children after birth. What happens, if this kid was still in utero, if this was the unborn child, everybody would still be very much involved in what's happening to this child's life. Once it's outside of the uterus, they don't care over there. They're just that baby is probably trying to sell itself to recoup the $1,000 that guy's out.
So here's the question, because $1,000 seems reasonable for a baby. You don't know how that baby's going to turn out.
I would want a lot more, Ron. I would want a lot more than $1,000 to take a baby.
But do you think the parents asked for the 6-pack, or did the guy throw that in to sweeten the deal on top of the grand? That's what I'm most curious about, is who brought the 6-pack of beer into the conversation.
All right, Ron, you and the wife are camping. Right off the bat, I can't see it. Your wife does not seem like the camping type.
Well, she loves camping, actually. I'm not the camping type.
Really? She likes the camp? Like the
She said she does. She just hasn't been in like 30 years.
I was going to say, when you're 23, camping is fun because your body's okay sleeping on the floor. But say you guys are camping, we'll call it glamping. I admit the two of you, you've got some kind of like RV that you're staying in. Like you guys are you're not sleeping in a tent. And some white trash couple comes up to you. The guy's got like 4 hairs here, 2 over there, bulbous nose. The girl looks to be about 12, but she says she's 21, and they're carrying a baby. And they walk up to you and they're like, "Listen, we're selling our baby. Do you want to buy it?" Question is this: do you buy the baby because you know you can take care of the baby at least until you call the authorities and the kid will be okay? Do you just simply say, "No, thank you, GTFO, you hicks," and send them on their way, absolving yourself of it, knowing that baby may be sold into a very bad situation?
See, here's the third option.
Oh, I don't
think you brought into play. I buy the baby, clean it up, put it in some nice clothes. I flip that baby. I buy the baby for $1,000, sell it for $15,000. Now I'm away with 14 grand in my pocket.
I like it. I like that. I like that very much. You put some Kelly green clothes on that baby, maybe you could get $17,500 for it.
You teach the kid to say "Go Birds," and he's easy to sell around here. You take him down to Delco, and you can probably get $5 grand for him at the Wawa.
Wawa. Hey, Jerry. Sorry.
All right, Brian, we didn't get a chance to do it last week. I wanted to do an Ask Brian segment. It's something we do every now and then. And this is coming from Reddit, from their Am I the Asshole section. So the title is, "Am I the asshole for outing my aunt's bedwetting after she kept asking about my sex life?"
What? This takes a weird turn in this mid-sentence.
So I'm an 18-year-old female and am paralyzed chest down from an accident 3 years ago. I live with my older brother, and this past week he hosted a big family reunion with multiple other relatives staying in the house. Very little privacy. The last time I saw her, my aunt would not stop asking invasive questions about my body and my sex life. Now, again, this person is an 18-year-old female writing this.
Sure. Just like
I told her multiple times to stop, and she laughed and said that since my care affects the whole family, in parentheses, it does not, it's not really private, which is bullshit. Then on Saturday night, she stayed over and wet the bed. I know because she asked my brother about laundry, and he found out about it and told me. No one else knew. I, of course, wasn't planning on telling anyone because obviously that's embarrassing for her, and I, above anyone, know what it's like to not have full control of my body. But then yesterday, the family had lunch with everyone, and she started with her bullshit again and joked that my boyfriend is more of a nurse than a lover. I said that perhaps she needs a nurse so she stops pissing herself at night.
Yes.
That did not go over well. I know it's a mean thing to say, but I feel like it's justified low key. My brother is fully on my side and had to keep himself from laughing his ass off. The rest of my family is not at all amused. From my perspective, I set a boundary which was ignored, so I matched her energy. Am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole whatsoever. I mean, based on, no, hold on. Somebody comes at you, you have the option to come back to them. I think it's
Sure.
fair that you give them a couple opportunities to realize that they're wrong, let that moment slide, walk away. But if they keep it up, then I think they are basically setting you up in a situation where you have the ability to defend yourself. And in a case like this, where you're paralyzed from the waist down, there's only so much your body can do to defend yourself. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, you're not going to charge the woman from across the room, but your words are going to be your weapons, are going to be your hands and fists. I think she's completely justified, because that's a good one. That's a good line.
That was solid. I mean, I read it and I laughed. And I read it again and I laughed one other time, and I was like, well, let's get Brian's take on this.
I love it. I'm 100% behind her, this woman.
All right.
Fortunately, from a distance, because if she was in a wheelchair paralyzed from the waist down, I would probably be looking from across the room weirdly.
Fair enough. All right. Next up, Brian, there's been some of the Epstein files have been released. A lot of redactions. But there was a release of Jeffrey Epstein's Amazon purchase history. He apparently had a weakness for junk food, an obsession with binoculars, and also a taste for the somewhat twisted, including schoolgirl uniforms and prostate massagers. The release by the Department of Justice includes 1,006 Amazon receipts from 2014 to 2019. These automated email receipts show Epstein ordered 4 regulation girls' school outfits to his Upper East mansion on East 71st Street back in 2018.
God, that is, I mean, oh my God, I love this graphic. The binoculars. What's with the binoculars?
So apparently he had a thing with binoculars. Among the items purchased, we mentioned the Tommy Hilfiger girls' uniform skirt. Yes.
The Vagifirm vaginal tightening pills.
Yes.
He's raping 14-year-old girls. Is his complaint that they're too loose?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Or was this for Ghislaine, or whatever you want to call it? This is horrible.
2 days after Christmas in 2018, he ordered a $61.50 prostate massager by Prostate Health Center for home use prostate health.
Now, what does it now? Is that like a male version of a vibrator? Like, is this something going in your butt?
So I'm not. In looking at the description, I don't know that it goes in the butt.
I'm going to say it does.
Catheter type thing.
No, I'm actually looking at the link on Amazon right now. Matt just sent it over to me. This is definitely a hold on to it. Let me see if I can share, present, share screen, allow. Boy, we are just all over the fucking place. Can you see it now?
No one can see it.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to learn how to do this. Add to the stage.
Click
Jesus Christ.
There we
go. Do you see? Now see that thing? You hold the base. You're holding the base, and then that little white part that goes off at a 90-degree angle. Why the gray tip? Don't you think it should be a brown tip? So this way, any residue is not as visible. That's going inside. Now,
So this has actually gone down in price. He paid $61.50 back in 2018. Here we are, 2025. It's down to $59.95. I'm going to say Donald Trump, promises made, promises kept. Our prostate massager is cheaper than it was 7 years ago. You didn't get that under Biden.
Oh, Ron, that is so not okay. All right, we're going to take that down. Oof.
Right. So going back to the Vagifirm bottles.
Yeah.
So they are an herbal supplement that promises increased lubrication and libido and firmer breasts.
And firmer breasts.
All for $64.95.
Listen, for $64.95, it's, give it a shot. I've wasted more money on parlays that you've suggested than it would take for a bottle of the vaginal tightening pills. I say, you know what? Maybe he was onto something.
Let's see. He also ordered a novelty $34 black and white prisoner's costume in August of 2018. Ironically enough, he also snagged an FBI costume, a pair of Israeli Defense Force combat pants, a variety of sauna hats, and 4 books by Vladimir Nabokov, including the legendary novel Lolita.
What's with the fake tattoo? Not tattoo, tuxedo. Why? What's with what he's buying it? I feel like they were having dressing parties in his house, and I was not invited. I'm a little offended.
This man, this New York financier, orders a $129 tuxedo with a $21 tuxedo shirt with French cuffs and a bow tie. Like, I feel like he could have afforded better than a $150 tuxedo.
Yeah, I agree with you. Which leads me to believe that it was some kind of role playing kind of thing where he put it on
together. Altogether, he ordered 9 pairs of binocular to his homes in West Palm Beach, Manhattan, and Little St. James Island.
Now we know why Bezos is so rich, because this guy's buying 5 copies of James Patterson books.
And he's apparently had a sweet tooth. He ordered boxes of Drake's coffee cakes, ring dings, Twinkies, devil dogs, apple pies, chocolate Tootsie Pops, Baby Ruths, Chunky Bars, chocolate covered raisins, and Nilla wafers. All that was really missing was the white van to carry that candy in.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not for him. That's for the girls. That's for the little girls. Yeah. Oh, nasty. What a nasty human being. You know what? I don't even care if Hillary and Bill killed him. I really don't care. The world's a better place without him walking around.
I think the one thing that is also interesting about the Epstein files release, and I don't know if you saw this, where most of the redacted files, people have found that if they copied the redacted sections and pasted them, they were able to see the text because they weren't redacted properly. And a lot of people are tying this back to Doge canceling a $4.2 million government contract with Adobe for their full suite of tools.
No.
That's what people, I don't know if there's a connection, but it is interesting to see.
Ron, this government is a joke. Just a fucking joke. An utter joke.
But apparently, Brian, a billionaire is saying that we are in line for gigantic tax refunds. That is according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Apparently, a lot of tax cuts included in President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act. So apparently, the tax provisions in the July law were retroactive to the beginning of the year. And since most workers did not adjust how much was deducted from their paychecks, that means that you will probably see a big refund when you file taxes in 2026. Although I would imagine it will be the extremely wealthy that see all of these tax cuts, while the rest of us probably won't see too much.
Well, I mean, Ron, you are part of that 1%. I mean, you've gloated about your private pool and how you were able to write that all off from your taxes, along with your yacht that you bought. You just prefer not to talk about it. But ultimately, what we're speaking about here is billionaires who are just giving wordplay to crumbles. The tax cuts for the wealthy are in the hundreds of millions, if not
Sure.
more. I lose track of the number of zeros when we're talking about this. And he's calling it massive when he's talking about a $2,000 check. Still hasn't come. Remember, we were going to get the tariff money. Remember those
That's
checks
true.
were. Then there was going to be the Doge money that was supposed to be they were going to send out checks. They're not doing it. They're not doing any of it. Oh, the people are going to get so fucked over the next 3 years. We're
What they
1 year
are
down.
doing, what they are doing is they are giving checks to the military, those $1,776 bonus checks that Trump was crowing about the other day. But what's interesting is they are literally taking that money from housing subsidies that the military folks normally get, and they're just paying it to them in cash. So whereas normally when it's a housing subsidy, it's not
Sure.
taxed. However, since it is being paid to them in cash, they will now be taxed on that almost $1,800.
Just this is just a joke. This is just an utter embarrassing joke. Ron, you keep freezing. The people are complaining, Ron.
I'll have to in between shows. I'll have to restart the internet or do something. I don't know what goes on with this. Am I on the right? I'm on the right internet. I don't know. Who knows, Brian? Who the hell knows?
Very
Next.
disappointing. Our champion can't even afford proper electricity.
Speaking
So
of
disappointing.
championships, we have our. Don't forget, we've got our. What am I trying to say, Brian?
The death pool. Hype up the death pool.
I was going to say the debate. Got the debate coming up in just about a month from now. It'll be the championship debate. We hold it each and every year. Brian, thoughts as you sit here, a man with no title belts and me with two. How is your preparation for the debate coming along?
This week we are doing double duty. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is coming over. We will start off. Also, I've got James Carville flying up from Arkansas.
Nice.
They are part of my debate prep team. And I also have Carolyn Levitt. Carol.
She's pregnant again. I heard.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm not capable of making that happen anymore. But we are going to be, we're putting together, phase one of our debate prep. It's a little too early to start crunching 24-hour news cycles of debate prep. It's not happening just yet. We're going to ease me into it.
Okay.
I know the mistakes I made last year will not be repeated.
You sure? Because it felt like the biggest mistake you made last year was showing up.
No, let's be honest. The debates are it's collusion. You and the moderator. By the way, I have an idea for the debate. I'll run it by you in between shows.
Okay.
But I've got an amazing idea on how we can really add an interesting dynamic to the debate this year.
Okay.
I want to try and
I'm open to it.
I want to improve the format of it this year, but we'll talk about that. I still have 59% say in this podcast. Damn it!
49.
Getting old. It'll be 59 soon. It's going to take 10%. Ron, what else do we got?
Well, speaking of the debate, that obviously it comes down to a wager on the Super Bowl. But before we can get to the Super Bowl, we have to give you our final NFL locks of the week of the regular season.
Locks.
Brian, if I can just say again, kudos to you. I mean, you were mixed on your New York teams. You looked at New England minus 13.5 versus the Jets. You said, I'll take whatever the line is. Sure enough, Patriots beat down on the Jets 42-10. And then you're like, you know what? I think this is the Giants week. They're getting 1.5 points. Wasn't even close. Giants blow out the Raiders 34-10, bringing you up to, if my math is correct, 34-0 on the season. Kudos. I mean, just Kudos, my friend.
No, not impressive. And I'll tell you why. As much as I want to sit there and take credit, I want to sit there and pat myself on the back. I want to say that I'm the best. I'm standing right there side by side with you, Ron, because you are also 34-0. Week 17 was not challenging whatsoever. You went 2-0. You saw the Lions laying 3.5 points to the Minnesota Vikings. You said the Vikings, listen, they are a sleeper team. They are the spoilers of the NFL season. Vikings win 23-10. You won that one. Also, again, Green Bay Packers laying 3.5 against the Ravens. You said, listen, we don't need Lamar Jackson. The Ravens will win anyway. Ravens 41-24. Ron, how do you do it?
Again, I say it week in, week out, but it's the truth. You push me to be better, both as a champion and as a prognosticator. And so that's what I have to do, is raise my game, elevate it each and every week.
Oh, I love it.
Who do you like this weekend? Listen, one of the toughest weekends to pick. I think there are only 2 division leaders left to be settled. Everybody else pretty much locked in. Hard to say who's going to play, who's not. Who do you like this upcoming weekend?
This coming week, I like the Cowboys -1.5 over the Giants. There's no way that the G-men win 2 in a row. Also, Eagles playing for pride here, laying 4.5 over the Commanders. I like Philadelphia. Ron, what are you thinking?
I like Houston -4.5 against the Indianapolis Colts, and Carolina +7 on the road at Tampa Bay. I think they clinch the NFC South. Do love that Eagles pick. Apparently, the punter for Washington is listed as QB1 for next weekend's game at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of injuries
Oh,
there.
I like
A lot
that.
of injuries.
Like that a lot. Like it a lot.
All right, next up, let's go to Texas, Brian, where a 51-year-old Baytown man faces theft charges after allegedly stealing more than $1,700 worth of brisket from multiple Central Texas grocery stores during a weekend crime spree. Armando Salazar was arrested earlier this month and charged with theft under $2,500 with 2 or more previous convictions, according to the Buda Police Department. He is being held on $2,500 bail. Police said Salazar stole brisket from H-E-B and Walmart locations, as well as stores in Manor and Austin. I don't know about you, Brian. Not a huge fan of brisket.
Not a fan of brisket.
Not a fan, and I've had it a lot of different ways. I've had it at some great barbecue places. I feel like it's not for me.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. I love a good brisket. Love a good brisket.
Don't get me wrong. Like love some pastrami, love some corned beef. But the brisket, I don't know. And certainly not enough to steal $1,700 worth of brisket.
I thought you were going to say you don't love the mole below his left eye.
I mean, that clearly is a man who eats way too much red meat, just looking at his complexion.
Yeah. I think he was going to try and sell this brisket.
I would say.
Let me ask you a quick question. I know you're very big on the on your Blackstone. How would you cook this brisket on your Blackstone?
I don't think I would cook brisket on a Blackstone. Brisket goes on a smoker.
Do you have a smoker, I'm assuming?
I do have a smoker, yes.
Got a smoking wife.
Hey-o! But no, I would smoke this probably at least 16, maybe 24 hours.
Sure.
You know, a little
what kind of wood pellets are you
binder.
using?
I'm using mesquite. I don't get all fancy with the different woods and whatnot. I'm a mesquite guy.
Are you the kind of guy that goes into your backyard? You know, I know you've got the 4 acres out there in Northeast Philadelphia adjacent.
Right.
Would you go into the forest next door and chop down some trees for that wood, or do you privately source them from Texas?
What I do, Brian, is I find a small business locally that is growing their own mesquite trees and harvesting them and cutting them into nuggets for me, and then I buy that.
The only part of that story I like is you talking about your nuggets.
Yes, exactly. What else do we have to talk about this week, Brian?
My goodness. Why, let me go back to the Google Doc because there were some in there.
Let's
Ron,
talk
can we?
about New Jersey because you've had a bit of
I don't think so.
a rough week in
No,
New Jersey. You
I
had
don't think we
two
need.
helicopters crash into each other today,
Perhaps.
but in addition, you had a dozen New Jersey men who were indicted, or I should say, arrested in a sweeping child sex sting dubbed Operation Bad Santa. The suspects, ranging in age from 23 to 65, were arrested after allegedly trying to lure minors for sex and showing up at a Middlesex County residence expecting to meet a child, only to be met by law enforcement instead. The multi-agency undercover operation unfolded over several days between December 8th and December 15th. Undercover officers posed as children during online conversations on social media and messaging app, steering the men to the location where the arrests were made. Most of the defendants were charged with second-degree luring and third-degree criminal attempt to endanger sexual conduct with a child, serious felonies that carry the possibility of state prison time if convicted.
Does it say where? And I know this is going to come out the wrong way. I'm not interested, so don't misinterpret my words here. But like, where are these guys chatting with what they believe to be underage girls? Like, are they on Snapchat? Is this Instagram? Because in my day, it was the AOL chat rooms. Like,
Sure,
that
sure.
was where you went to go pretend that you were an underage boy. To ASL, age, sex, location. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, look at that. I still remember something. But where today are they going to Twitter? Like, is it like, are they approaching accounts and just commenting?
Like
Like,
I would
what's the move
imagine it's
here?
probably commenting on TikToks. I think Snapchat. I think you're right there. Probably WhatsApp, Signal, maybe a few on Truth Social. I've seen some very
Little Telegram action.
very right wing young kids on there.
Okay. Of this, who do you think is a Republican on this list?
I mean, I think there's a reason that the background of it is all red. I'm going 12 for 12.
It is Jersey.
And you've got two up there. The top row, second from the left, Cameron Ameyi. He was employed as a program coordinator for Youth Rise and academic readiness and career pathway programs at Passaic County Community College. While the person next to him, Joseph Davikskin, he was a middle school teacher in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible. And I'm assuming Jason Kellogg in the bottom row, he was just unemployed.
I'm just wondering.
His head gets smaller as it goes up.
I'm looking at the guy in the second row, second from the left, Jose Laguna. How many necks has he got going there? Like
he's got a lot.
If he were to ribbit, I would 100%. That would 100% be on brand.
I was going to say he must have a terrible time putting on a tie because they just don't make them long enough for him.
He is Vincent D'Onofrio's character in Men in Black, looking for sugar water.
Oh my God! Never saw Men in Black. Don't believe in that.
I'm sorry. What?
Never saw Men in Black.
I
thought it was a kids movie.
How could you not see Men? Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones.
Hey,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. Speaking of that, Ron, let me ask you a question. What are you watching? Friend. What are you watching?
What am I watching? Well, as we know, I watched the season finale of Pluribus. We watched the next 3 episodes of Stranger Things that dropped Christmas night. We got through those. Enjoyed those 3. Very much looking forward to the finale. I think it comes out on New Year's Eve. I think it's like 2+ hours.
Not interested.
You're not interested, huh? All right. I mean, usually you the shows you watch with young children are a little different. I know they can't show those on Netflix. So I did see there is a John Elway documentary out on Netflix that I do have on my list that I'd like to watch.
Oh yeah, that just came out, didn't it?
It did. But
I'll
Brian,
be.
what are you watching?
I watched one of the strangest movies I've seen in a very long time. I believe it was on Paramount. No, it was on Peacock. Might have been Paramount. I didn't write it down.
Right.
Begonia with Emma Stone.
What was that? And Jesse Plemons?
That is a weird movie. So it's very fast paced. There's not a lot of setup, but the idea is that they're in Georgia. She is this like modern day CEO. They show her doing yoga and different like skin treatments. Like, she's like hip, cool it woman, running some kind of biotech company. Who gets kidnapped by these two yokels played by Jesse Pinkman. And they believe that she is an alien who has been sent to Earth to take over and eliminate the humans. Fucking strange movie. My lady slept through the whole damn thing.
Not surprising.
Never even picked her head up to be like, what's going on and why is that woman screaming? But incredibly strange. I did not dislike it, though I can't say that I would recommend it to anyone. I can't say, oh, you have to go out and watch this. This is so amazingly weird. But it's a weird one. I enjoyed it, but I can't say that I would recommend. Also, I went somewhat into the archives here. There's a show on Apple TV that is Tehran. I think it's an Israeli show that came out in 2020. It's about an Israeli spy that infiltrates Iran and goes after the Iron Sheik. No, just kidding about that last part. But it's about Israeli spies that have infiltrated Iran and are on a mission to create some havoc. Really knocked out the whole first season.
Oh, and I forgot. I think one, because I tried to block it out of my memory. Watched the new Sydney Sweeney movie, The Housemaid, with her and Amanda Seyfried.
Sure. Two hit girls. Amanda was the hit girl for a while, but
one of the worst movies I've ever seen. One of the worst movies.
What is the plot of this movie? Because I've not seen one trailer for it other than photos of Sydney Sweeney.
So the plot is that Sydney Sweeney is this ex-con, so completely believable already right off the bat.
Sure.
Ex-con, gets out of jail, has to find a job, gets a job as a nanny with this husband and wife. The wife seems very weird. The husband seems a little offbeat. And then it kind of goes into this. They say that, there's all these twists and turns. Not really. I felt it was lazily written, poorly acted. Mm-hmm. Like, I consider you, like, when I think of the people I know, and I'm not bullshitting on this, when I think of people that are into film and love film, I think that's you. I think you look at film as an art form more than other people do.
Very much so. Very much so.
Is there anything more lazy from a script writing perspective than having a character write or have a voiceover writing a letter to their child for like 5 minutes that basically just explains the plot?
You're supposed to show without telling. That's the whole idea, is that if you're telling, then you're just lazy, because that's how you're supposed to show it to the viewer and let them piece it all together. Yeah.
So like lazy. There's this one part where Amanda Seyfried, she leaves her husband and she's in this hotel room and she's like, to my daughter, if you're reading this, I must be dead. But I wanted to make sure that you had the story of what, and just it goes on and on and on. And then you're just like, and then the other one I watched, and I will agree with your assessment of this, was the latest Knives Out movie on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. And your view?
It's every other Knives Out movie, just with a different setting.
Sure. Yeah. Just there's no depth to that story. It is the characters are just so one-dimensional. It feels like the writing was done by amateurs. And it's as if somebody sat there and watched an Agatha Christie movie and said, you know what, I can do that, and they can't. Not good.
And I would say I enjoyed the initial Knives Out, the one that was with what it was,
Mhm.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis was that one. Yeah,
Chris Hemsworth and a bunch of other people. Like that one. The second one was okay. Now it just feels like, again, it feels like what Netflix does is they get a franchise like Knives Out. Someone
Mhm.
pitches them a script and they say, well, this script stinks on its own, but I bet if we made this as a Knives Out movie, people would watch it. And then they
Right.
just rewrite the script with the characters of whatever franchise they're dropping it into.
And then it just gets worse and worse. Just laziness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
All right, let's try and sneak in some more
some more.
stories here. Obviously, you know, people were traveling around the holidays, and there is a holiday traveler who's been dubbed Two Cats Karen, who was filmed blowing up at Alaska Airlines workers in Las Vegas, who wouldn't let her put a pair of cats under her seat as she shouted, "Why are you ruining Christmas?" Alexandra Compton was trying to fly home to Portland, Oregon Sunday when an agent explained that there wasn't enough room for both of her cats in the same carrier, sending her into an angry rant.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I mean, it's almost become a running joke at this point of watching people have meltdowns at the airports when they're wrong. Here's a case of a woman who brought two cats in a carrier that was too large to fit in the under what do you call it? The under.
But actually,
area
it wasn't even the size of the container. Apparently, the issue was this woman had crammed two cats into a container that should only hold one. And they were like, well, they need separate containers. Like, so that's even worse. Like, you're basically abusing your cats by shoving them into this one thing, and then you're going to throw it under a seat.
Now, you told me you like to shove your cats into small areas also.
No. I love my cats. My cats are fantastic.
They are. Will Finn, question, all joking aside, will Finn be making a appearance during After Dark this week? We are doing After Dark in about a half an hour. Last week, to me, Finn was the star of the show, took over. We were trying to talk about OnlyFans a year in review, but Finn made an appearance, and suddenly nobody cared about OnlyFans anymore, which is very hard to do during After Dark.
Listen, Finn is a character, so we'll see. He is currently napping with his girlfriend, so we shall see if he shows up for After Dark.
Finn has a girlfriend?
Well, Dorian is his girlfriend. She hangs on him consistently.
Know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Well, maybe you don't really care about Finn as much as you say you do.
Finn is my reason for existing.
The other thing I don't get, going back to this previous story, is why people feel that yelling at airline employees will get them anything but kicked off the plane and possibly, on a no-fly list. Like the number of videos we continue to see where people are like, "Oh no, I'm going to get my way, and I'm going to yell at these airline employees until I get what I want," and it never works.
It never works. It always gets you arrested. But I think it is just that we have become less and less of a civil society, and we have this ongoing and an ever increasing belief that everybody else's role in society is to hear us and allow us to get what we want. And if we don't get it, we're outraged because we expect it. We expect to get exactly what we want, which is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. Let's get one more story in here. This is about a 76-year-old man who learned that some medications can cause surprising side effects. He learned this firsthand when, after taking a medication for heart failure, he developed a new physical feature, enlarged breasts. And here is a photo. Again, this is a guy, breasts looking so realistic that the New York Post had to pixelate them.
Blur them, right.
So this condition, known as gynecomastia, occurs when there is a hormonal imbalance due to certain medications or puberty. After experiencing tender swelling breast tissue for the past 8 months, the cause of his condition was from a medication he'd been taking for several years, spironolactone. The drug is one of the most commonly prescribed medications in the U.S., with more than 12 million prescriptions overall.
You're not currently taking that, are you?
I am not. But here's a question, Brian.
Yeah.
If you had a medication that was potentially keeping you alive, but it gave you enlarged breasts, would you go off the medication?
No, I would absolutely stay on that medication. I would get on OnlyFans and I would make lots of content, Ron. I'd be slathering those bad boys up in Nutella, Hershey's chocolate fudge cream.
Little Texas Roadhouse cinnamon butter.
I'd be slapping slices of brisket on them, making videos. I would be making money on OnlyFans. Absolutely.
Right.
Would you? You'd stop taking?
Listen, I think I'd have to weigh it, but I think, now that you've given it,
you'd have to weigh the breast. You would weigh your breast.
Apparently, there are a lot more men going forward with breast reduction surgery, both because of medication and this occurring naturally. Sure. It is now the most popular plastic surgery among men in the U.S. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons reported its doctors performed over 26,000 male breast reductions in 2024, up from 20,000 in 2019.
We should try to get Matt one of these. Do it for the show, for content. See if Matt would be willing to get a breast reduction. I know the last time you saw him, you were like, "Oh, you're the producer with the biggest biddies in the area." But I wonder if Matt would be willing to get rid of those.
Now, do you think we should put him on drugs to get them enlarged first, like make it like really noticeable?
Listen, we have spent so much of the Patreon and merch money putting him through rehab. I feel like he owes us one.
I think you're right. Well, let's talk to him after the show. We'll talk to him.
Sounds good.
Let's get one more story in here, Brian, where New York City teachers have found that many teenagers can't read traditional clocks after a cell phone ban in schools, because students apparently figured the skill would be useless in the digital era. According to Maddie Morningweg, who teaches high school English in Manhattan, the constant question she gets is, what time is it?
That is so embarrassing. That is so unbelievably embarrassing that kids do not know how to read a clock.
But I don't know I don't know if I believe this just because it's the New York Post. Like, it's a very boomer-centric article. Like, you mean to tell me that these children in New York City, their families do not have like an analog clock in the house anywhere?
How would who am I to say? Maybe not. I believe it. I mean,
it's a half-ass comment on your part, Brian.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. Well, folks, as we have mentioned throughout the episode, we've talked about After Dark, which is our special episode for Patreon subscribers that we do at 9:30 at the last Sunday of each month, which means tonight we do an extra long episode, and we have all of our Patreon subscribers join us live on the show. We do a little trivia contest tonight. It is Can You Beat Ron? Brian, have you put together a tough quiz for all of us tonight?
I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to run the table as you did last time we played this game.
I hope so. Is it on Kahoot, or did you not get around to learning that platform again?
Oh, did I try and learn Kahoot today and fucking got frustrated? I got angry. Yeah, we're going to talk about Kahoot.
Okay. Another question before we wrap up, because I know you're working this week, right? I assume
Sure.
you have New Year's Day off, but do you
Yes.
then have to go to work on January 2nd?
Of course.
Wow.
That's my complaints.
So you close early on the 31st at least? Like,
Whoa.
will it be like at 2
Yeah.
o'clock?
It'll be a half day.
Right. But then, I mean, you get a day to recover. Are you doing anything for New Year's Eve? We haven't really talked about that.
Nah, me and the lady are going to keep it quiet this year.
All right, fair enough. Well, I will let you go focus on your work day.
Thank
We
you.
will also get ready for After Dark. We appreciate you folks joining us. Hey, we should wish everybody a Happy New Year, since the new year will take place before the next episode. And we've got a lot of fun, entertaining surprises coming at you in 2026. We are just a few months away from our 400th episode. I am told we are trying to line up some incredible talent and guests for that. We obviously have the championship debate coming up. We've got our death pool, folks. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Bridget Bardot passing away, giving one of our death pool contestants 9 points. But we are in the final 3 days of the year. Can Andrew H. hold on for yet another death pool victory? If you have not gotten your entries in, be sure to do so by midnight on the 31st. The links are on our social media post. Brian, I haven't seen yours yet. How are they coming along?
You will get it on New Year's Eve. I need to make sure that everybody that I am picking is not healthy.
I've got a list together right here. I'm going to check it twice, but I feel pretty good about who I have so far. So we'll see how it plays out.
Let's see
All
where
right,
we
folks.
go.
We appreciate you joining us, Patreon folks. We will see you in a little bit for After Dark. Everybody else, have a happy new year, and we will see you next Sunday.
Thank you for joining us for the latest episode of The Cult of Ron and Brian. A non-tax deductible contribution can be made by subscribing to our Patreon. Visit cultofronandbrian.com and click on Become a Patron. We'll see you again next week.